I'm Keely. I'm one of the Thrive Flower School Career Change students for 2022. I'd never studied floristry before. I had a very small amount of work experience at a friend's shop, and that was sort of the thing that made me realise that I really loved it. However, it did also open my eyes up to how some more traditional methods are less environmentally friendly, and I was really seeking somewhere that was teaching those new sustainable methods. I was very nervous at the beginning of the course. I wasn't sure whether I would be too beginner, but after the first lesson I knew that it was the place for me to be. Just listening to Alyssa's stories and meeting the other girls really put my mind at ease. What attracted me to Thrive Flower School was the big focus on sustainability and sustainable floristry practices. I've been interested in floristry for a while, but not necessarily in a traditional education like TAFE, because I'm so passionate about the sustainable practices. Career Change course in particular stood out to me for being able to learn all of the industry skills over a shorter time frame, and also just one day per week, which made it really manageable for me with my other job as well. That really stood out to me. I've been working in hospital administration for quite some time, and floristry just gives me that creative outlet to get my hands dirty and use my mind in a different way. And I've really been quite surprised at how far I've come and how proud I am of the work that I can do. I've been working. My main goals in the course were just to improve my confidence. I knew that I could learn the skills, but I was very nervous about actually going out into the industry and practicing them. And at the end of the course now, I do feel quite proud to say that I'm feeling a lot more confident. It's still a little bit nerve-wracking going out for that first job or, selling that first bunch of flowers. But I do feel very capable with the skills and knowledge that I've learnt throughout the course. The biggest highlight for me was being able to learn all of our skills from Alyssa. She's been in the industry for such a long time, doing so many different things, and because she's still working in the industry, all those skills are so modern and current, and being in this space really felt like we were a part of the industry as well. Another thing I really felt was so valuable throughout the course was just how fully we were immersed into the whole experience, making so many contacts even with other students and catching up and seeing where we all are after class. And people like the ribbon man who came to visit and meeting the growers and sellers at the markets really gives us a bit of a leg up now that we've finished our course. We're ready to go. Although I'm very keen in the garden, I wasn't very familiar with a lot of flowers, and that's something that I thought I might be a little bit behind in. Luckily, one of the best parts of the class was every day we heard a different variety of flowers, and because we work over the 6 months through different seasons, we got to see a lot of the changes throughout the season, even with the foliage. And part of the beginning of the day is Alyssa would introduce us to the flowers' names, how they grow and what sort of colours they come in as well. One thing that we practiced every day in class was coming in, processing our flowers and setting up the display. It was only a small thing, but it's one of those things that you would do every day in a florist shop, which has prepared us really well. Even things like pricing of flowers. I really also valued the opportunity to have the classes where we would go to the markets and buy our own ingredients. and make our own designs and then price them as well. And Alyssa would help us during that process. That's actually a really difficult thing to get your head around. So now that I have that knowledge, going out and selling my own pieces has been a lot easier. In all of our classes, we learnt so many different styles and designs and techniques. That's really helped us to sort of form our own likes and dislikes and strengths. I feel like I'm still finding my niche, but we learned a lot of things that I didn't expect that we would during the course, like things like terrariums, and even things like wrapping and plants, which I actually really enjoyed. The most challenging thing I found were when we had time restraints to make our designs. It did definitely put the pressure on and make the stress levels go up, but it's prepared us really well for the industry because we are often restricted by time. The location of the studio is fantastic. It was really easy to get to. The industrial estate is quite large, there's plenty of parking, and we're very lucky to be right around the corner from Dandy Fresh, one of the wholesalers. We'd often meet there before class and grab a few flowers and bring them back and process before we started. I found it really beneficial to be able to learn in a space that operates as a business as well, and come in and see what's being made every day and what's going out to weddings, and even just meeting the girls and asking them questions. All of their staff at Thrive were happy for us to question them whenever we came in and ask them about the flowers and what they're making. It just felt like we were really part of the industry already. We have a very good mix of theoretical and practical in the classes. Usually we'd start with the theory, and Alyssa would explain sort of the background on whatever we're making and give us a bit of a demo. And she'd usually talk us through a more traditional way of doing the design, and then we would practice doing it ourselves in a more sustainable way. We also had access to an online portal. Usually the next online class would open up after we'd finished our in-person class. It was really handy just to be able to sort of solidify that knowledge and what we're practicing at home, go back and relearn the things that we might have forgotten about. It was also handy, there were 1 or 2 classes that I couldn't make for being sick or other reasons, and a few of the other students had the same problem. So Alyssa would save our flowers from class and we could practice it at home with the video in our own time. A typical day in the classroom is we come in and process all the flowers that have come from the market that morning, and then we set up our display and price the flowers like you would in a little shop, which gave us a nice little introduction to the morning. And then once that's done, Alyssa goes through a bit of theory, shows us a demonstration on what we're making for the day, and then we have a go at it ourselves. Thrive provided us with our own toolkits for the course, which we've got to keep, and also booklets, which I've referred back to a lot since I finished. I feel very lucky to have had Alyssa as a teacher. She had so much time for us in class and would always make sure to get around and give everyone a bit of one-on-one, and help us adjust our designs where we needed to, as well as spending a bit of time with us after class if we had a few questions. As well as the classroom learning, we did have a few excursions. I particularly enjoyed going to the big Epping market, which was an earlier start, but we got to go around and meet a lot of the growers, a lot of the people that you would interact with when going to the market, and just learn how it all works, which has given me a lot of confidence now when going back there myself. myself to buy flowers, that I know what to do and where to go and who to see. We had an event styling day at Craft & Co in Collingwood. It was our first time really working on large scale installations and working as a team. And I think we're all pretty proud of what we came up with by the end of the day. It was pretty daunting because it's something that's very new to all of us, but we really enjoyed the experience. Even luckier for us is that we had our work professionally photographed, and a lot of those photos we have got to use in our portfolios and on our social media as well. Our last class was our portfolio day, which we got to make our own designs and have them photographed to go in our portfolio. I made a big installation and a wedding bouquet and some buttonholes because I'm particularly interested in the events space. It was a bit daunting. It's something that we'd had a lot of time to prepare for, but it was really fun to see all the different things that people made, and just feel really proud of what we did and now get to show that to potential employers in our portfolio. Now that I've done the course, I feel really capable to go out and actually be part of the designing of these events. I've also got a job coming up with a retail florist, so I'm really looking forward to trying something new. It's not something that I kind of thought I would be doing, but I'm really excited to give it a go. Hopefully next year I'm going to head overseas and do a little bit of labouring over there in a florist while I'm there.